Welcome to the Gracie Academy. Hidon Gracie, Rener Gracie, 1993, our father created the UFC to showcase the effectiveness of jiu-jitsu to the world.
And now that every professional fighter has added it to their arsenal, we're breaking down how they're using it so you can add it to your arsenal. Dang!
What?
The weekend, man, come on.
It was an Armlock weekend.
Holy moly, you guys. This is very crazy, okay? We don't really do major releases for t-shirts that often. It's not that big a deal. But we had Submission Series coming out, the #1 most requested t-shirt of all times. So we set the release for March 1st. Like, yo, it's coming out March 1st. Submission Series, you know, you guys have already heard from the last breakdown. Submission Series 1 of 10, straight arm lock, belly down transfer. Chave de Braco is the Portuguese translation. We have the whole move broken down in the back. They already know, my bro, they already know.
They already know.
We did this whole freaking release for March 1st. March 2nd, UFC on FX. Boom! 2 arm locks, sick arm lock finishes. Okay, straight arm locks, TJ Waldburger and Daniel Pineda. Dang! And then we go to March 3rd. Strike Force. Rousey versus Tate. Dang.
That was serious.
Very serious.
And that was, let's talk about that. Like, yeah, this idea of getting caught in armbar. The armbar was amazing, the arm
Yes,
lock.
we gotta show it.
But getting caught in an arm lock like that and not wanting to tap and trying to escape. And why does that happen? Because a lot of times you train in your school and you're able to escape many of your training partners.
And your training partners go easy because they don't want to break your arms. So they lock you up and they're there.
And you know your training partners, but when you go with someone who's a professional also.
And who could care less about your training partners, who care less about your health.
There has to be a certain level of like, okay, I'm a professional, I'm gonna get hurt, I gotta tap.
We already talked about this, Nogueira, Frank Mir.
Yes.
It's like,
you have to tap.
The funny part is though,
we understand because our grandfather, when he fought against Kimura, himself, he didn't want to tap.
at the Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro,
That's where it took place. He didn't want to tap because
October 23rd, 1951.
it was said that he was pretty stubborn himself.
Dude, he was the ultimate non-tapper. So in that sense, Nogueira, in that sense, Miesha Tate and the Grandmaster are all the same. It just gets to a point where you're so convinced of your effectiveness that even when caught and it's guaranteed break, you don't tap. You gotta show the technique, we gotta learn from this, but just know that it's easy from the outside to say, oh, she should have tapped, what an idiot, she should have tapped. She didn't even feel the arm break. Like the truth is, you saw it went boom, boom, it went past 180, went into like the 240-degree range. When you look at the video, it's down, it's upside down, complete dislocation. And we're like, oh, she should have tapped. But when you're in the moment and there's that emotion and that adrenaline and that fire and that desire, and she escaped the arm lock once early in the fight.
Correct.
So she's thinking, I got the number, I got the way out.
Correct.
But that first arm lock was kind of loose.
Correct.
And Ronda admitted it after the fight that the first attempt that Miesha escaped, she didn't even have it fully locked in. Because it was kind of one of those neon stomach arm locks.
Yes, a lot of space.
Cool? So you want to show the one that, it started from the throat. From
up?
Yes, the head and arm throw standing out. Of course, Ronda Rousey's judo is ridiculous. So they enter into a clinch, and she entered in, it was like this. It was an over-under. Boom, Miesha clinched her body, and Ronda was under. And then she brought the hip in. Boom, and they fell down. Rotate a little. So it was a head and arm, and she fell like this. Now, the thing is this, when you end up with a headlock after a throw, that's probably the worst part about the throw, right?
Yes.
The head and arm throw. The worst part is you end up with the head.
What would you like? You would like to be under my arm right here.
Yes. But she ended up here.
And the reason this isn't that good is my head might possibly slip out. Okay, of course.
Which certainly I think Miesha would have liked to have done it. She was working towards it.
And in judo, there's lots of controlling this arm, like underneath your arm.
Yes.
There's a very common hold it underneath also. This is very common control in judo. So Ronda is very familiar with this.
So from here, she was controlling, and Miesha started turning her side to try to recover guard or at least create some space. So she brought her top knee across Ronda's lap. And that's when Ronda saw the window. And this was the true. And the funny part is this beauty that happened here wasn't even witnessed by most of the people who were watching from home.
Yeah, I had to watch it 3 times. I had to rewind it because the camera changed.
Yes.
Right as she was jumping.
As a general editing concept, you're not supposed to change camera angles during motion because you lose frame of reference of what's actually going on. So, but there was the exact frame change from a totally opposite side. When Miesha brought the knee in, here's what Ronda did. She pushed off this toe and she jumped.
Oh, it was great.
So she ends up now with the optimum head and arm underhook.
So which means that she does know that this is better control.
1,000 times.
Especially for her mount transition and then arm lock.
The funny part is she probably did that a lot in judo because she ends up with the throw and then to dominate to a more tight underhook position, she might jump across. That was beautiful, beautiful.
Go back over there real quick. Well, you said it real, when the knee came across. So if the knee would have never came across,
yes,
it would have been guard, if anything. Or stay in the headlock right here. But I don't know why Tate's bringing this knee across the stomach right here.
Maybe push with that knee and try to slip your head out.
No, it's not that easy.
Try it, just do it. Yeah, I'm just saying she might, you know what I'm saying? She's a trained professional as well, so she knows. But still, this was the key right here. This is where the whole thing started to go south for Miesha, if it hadn't already. And then from here, after a little scramble, she brought the knee in, she got across. Boom, boom, boom. And we all know, she knows what Ronda wants. Everybody knows. It's like when you fight Hickson, you know what he wants.
Correct. Man. So maybe she thought turning to her stomach would hide the arms?
Yes. Speaking of Hickson, Ronda trains with Henry.
Yes.
Good long-time bro, family friend, like Hickson black belt. And so in addition to all her judo experience, that's really where she got a lot of the jiu-jitsu aspect and tightness from as well, which is really cool. Congratulations, Henry. Ronda, congratulations. So from here, punch, punch, punch. She rolls over, goes belly down. The hooks go in. Come on up. So the hooks go in and they end up flat right here. Ronda's driving the hips and she's punching from here.
When this was happening, I was a little bit like, come on, Ronda, don't go out like that. Don't win by strikes, please, please. Dude, I was really worried that she was going to be angry and want to win right there.
99 out of 100 UFC, MMA, Strikeforce fighters would have kept punching. They had belly down, pressure. But Ronda, no. She had this pride in upholding her legacy, the arm collector legacy. So Miesha comes up to her knees, and here's the arm lock. She shoots north wrap. Now, traditionally with an arm lock, you go underhook here, and then you step over the head. But for her variation from the back, she went base hand, north grab, and then from here, the top leg comes over the head, boom. As soon as this knee and the shin lands, and she's holding, she reads it, and she grabs this leg, and she starts to fall. Now, get to this situation here, where, you know, back up, try to lift your head up. If you lift your head up and coming under, boom. And then what she does is she pulls this leg, dragging it past her body. And that was the break it detail. She ends up here, and then Ronda, instead of pulling at the elbow, the arm collecting master that she is, she went down, locked here at the wrist, okay? And then from the wrist, hold your bicep. From the wrist, she got this, and then she went north. She fell north, not straight, pulling against the elbow and the chest muscles. She went, locked the wrist, and she went north. So it's purely the small shoulder muscles and the wrist that she's putting pressure on. Once it popped, she straightened out right away. So this idea of hugging the wrist, not the elbow, it's a little risky because you're not actually controlling the elbow, but it's also very effective because you're targeting a weaker part of the arm to break the hand, boom, and then just straighten it out from here. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, now it's...
Yeah, of course, now she just went to work with it, you know? And I think that, yeah, you know, of course, man, being that Miesha escaped the first one, she was pretty confident she would get out with the second one, but it didn't go that way. She got it, pop, pop, it dislocated, and then you end up seeing her hand on the ground right here because literally it went straight down, like way more than 180. It was completely dislocated, and that was the end of the deal. And I think once, the truth is Miesha didn't feel the arm go to dislocation. She only felt it after it was already unresponsive, it looked like. Because she didn't tap as the arm broke. She tapped after realizing she couldn't move her arm. Then she just kind of said, okay, there's no reason to keep fighting at this point.
And I heard a lot about the referee. He should have stopped it. He was just standing around. But the ref can't. He knows that they're two professionals.
Training, each one of them was training like way more experience than the ref has times 10.
Correct. Yeah.
So you can't expect him to take care of you at that level.
Especially for just an arm like that, let the arm go. The ref has to make sure that the submission, you know, takes place 100%.
Right, it makes sense that the ref steps in when you're getting your face punched in and they stop up the fight.
Of course.
Because you can't even let go of your face protection to tap. But on an arm lock like this, you can easily, with the other hand, tap. It starts to get stretched out. But there was way too much emotion, way too much pride, and it just made sense. Again, Grandmaster Edu style. She didn't want to tap. She just wanted to let it go.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The last Gracie breakdown, we asked you guys. We were giving away these sub-series shirts, pre-release. We asked you guys, what was the best straight arm lock, best arm bar you've seen in the history of MMA? And we got all kinds of names, like, of course, Royce's name was in there a couple times. Diego Brandau's arm lock, you know, at the Ultimate Fighter finale. Frank Mir. Nogueira had a few classics of his own. Dustin Hazlett had a slick little one. Aoki. All these top name submission specialists, their names were thrown out. And that was last Gracie breakdown we asked. And now the truth, if we asked it today,
we would have had many Ronda Rousey votes.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
And I'm telling you, for me, it was because of the fact that she had the back
That's
punching. That's everything.
In other
right
words,
there.
the fight was already won.
And
She
let
could easily won.
Yes, this whole idea of just going for what you want and not even sticking, not even just taking the punches,
not
as
even
the victory.
Yeah, and not taking the easy victory, going for the glory, going for the submission. I mean, it's incredible that she sacrificed that for an uncertain submission, but in her head it was certain.
Correct.
Too many repetitions, too much practice.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Cool. So that was the, bring those over here. That was the last Gracie breakdown. The winner of the last Gracie giveaway, submissions, they posted a comment, they subscribed, they did all that, was Eric Hayner. And Eric is gonna win his submission series 1 of 10 t-shirt for free.
Mine, right here, the sweaty one right here.
Come on, bro, keep it real. We'll sign it for you if you want, bro. If not, you can get yours clean, whatever you want. Now, here's the deal, you guys. Next Gracie giveaway. Here's what we're gonna give away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us a tour of that one.
This
one
right here.
We're gonna give a submission series shirt, but we're also gonna give you guys the newest gear. You guys, we don't really, check out this classic pullover right now. Picture here, bro.
Why is it classic?
Well, this is 1950 Gracie Academy. Academia Gracie de Jiu-jitsu. That was Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Portuguese, 1950s. Well, here's the deal. We don't partner very often with outside companies to make Gracie apparel. But we found this dope company called Roots of Fight, and they're making the most vintage, storytelling, historic MMA fight gear pieces, and we've allowed them to do a couple garments for Gracie Academy, for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, one of them is this classic Kimura Elio official, as if you were at the fight with the president of Brazil and, thousands of other people at the Maracanã Stadium. So they're all cut and sewn, hand cut and sewn. They're super quality garments. We want to give some of these away. We now have them available in the Gracie store for purchase, but we want to give these away as part of the Gracie breakdown for today. Academia Gracie de Jiu-Jitsu. You can put it on if you want, bro. If you want to just, keep taking off your shirt.
Haha. Haha. Show them the back of this.
Check out the back of this one, you guys. So this is the little pullover dope hoodie. We want to give you guys one of these as a giveaway today. Boom, Gracie. And look, Brazil spelled with an S, because this shirt is from Brazil. Super vintage, all cut and sewn, very high quality, like garments. Both of these. So we want to give you 1, 2, 3, and of course a sub-series which came out this weekend, 4 shirts as this Gracie giveaway. What are we going to talk about?
The question? Yeah. Is would you tap if you were in an MMA fight? And let's imagine the situation though. It's the fight
of your life.
That if you win this fight, you're taken care of. You're hooked up, right? You're basically the best in the world.
It's everything.
Would you tap, right? Or would you do everything you can and twist and turn and not just sacrifice an arm for the possibility of escaping?
Serious. You guys, post a comment, subscribe to the Gracie Breakdown channel, and favorite this video. And you're automatically entered to win all 4 t-shirts and this dope, athletic, classic pullover. And man, we're gonna keep it on the highest level. Side note, this submission series shirt, we have them in XXX. All the big boys, like the 260s, 280s, 320s, they're always complaining that our shirts aren't big enough. XXX for the first time, submission series. Go to the Gracie store, check it out, and we're gonna make it happen, my friends. Congratulations, Ronda. Congratulations, Miesha, on an incredible performance and the warrior spirit. We hope you heal quickly. And
because remember, before you answer the question,
right,
it's either 6 minutes or 6 months if you don't tap.
Dang,
recovery time.
Right. Is it worth it to you? Would you tap?
6 months.
Roots of Fight. And you guys, side note, we have a bonus video. Check this out.
After several challenge matches in Brazil, Grandmaster Hélio Gracie found out that the best Japanese jiu-jitsu fighter ever, Masahiko Kimura, was going to be in Brazil. So my grandfather challenged him to a match. Kimura said, listen, Hélio, you're good, but not good enough to fight me. Instead, I'm gonna have you fight the #2 Japanese jiu-jitsu fighter, a guy named Kato, and Kato will beat you just as easy as I would. My grandfather fought Kato and choked him out after 6 minutes. So with Kato rendered unconscious, the Japanese champ had no choice but to accept the challenge from my grandfather. The stage was set for an epic battle. They held the fight in Maracanã Stadium, nearly 200,000 occupants. It was the first time that a jiu-jitsu championship of the world would be fought outside of Japan. Kimura was so confident of victory, being that he was nearly 80 pounds heavier than my grandfather. He declared in the newspapers that if Hélio Gracie could last for 3 minutes without giving up, that he should be declared the winner. The fight was set for 2 10-minute rounds. Kimura got my grandfather and he threw him every which way you can imagine, like a rag doll. He was just too strong. But he couldn't finish my grandfather. He would go for the submission, my grandfather would defend, which was his specialty, survival. And 3 or 4 minutes into the second round, my grandfather, of course, now is getting more exhausted. Kimura finally was able to capture my grandfather in a shoulder lock, which now bears his name, the Kimura. And my grandfather, stubborn as he was, didn't want to tap out. Carlos, the older brother and manager figure, threw in the towel and forfeited the match to the Japanese champ. Speaking to my grandfather much later about the fight, I say, Grandpa, what did you think going into the fight? What was your mindset? He said, Rener, I never expected to beat this Japanese champ. I knew he was the best Japanese jiu-jitsu fighter in the world, and if I was gonna truly believe in what I do, I had to at least test it against that person given the opportunity. So he knew he was gonna lose in front of his whole country, but he still engaged. And that's the definition of a warrior. That's the definition of a fighter. That's the definition of a modern day samurai.